There are moments when the world feels sharp against your skin. A casual comment lands like a question about your worth. A room goes quiet and you wonder if it means no one sees you. Praise arrives and suddenly everything is warm, clear, alive. Without it, the edges blur. You don't always notice how much you need that warmth to feel steady. It just feels like the natural way things should be. You might have heard the word narcissist and felt it fit, or almost fit. People use it to explain why you need admiration, why criticism stings so deeply, why being ignored feels like erasure. They call it selfishness or ego. But that word misses the quiet truth underneath. Nothing about you is spoiled or cruel by nature. What looks like confidence from the outside often feels, from the inside, like the only way to hold yourself together. Psychology describes this through something called unstable self-esteem. In plain terms, it means your sense of who you are doesn't stay solid, on its own. It needs outside support to feel real. Admiration, attention, success. When those things flow in, you feel capable and strong. When they stop, even for a moment, a hollow space opens up inside. It's not about wanting to be better than others. It's about needing the world to confirm you exist at all. The surface shines, but beneath it there's a constant, quiet pull toward validation. There's often another piece at work, self-enhancement bias. That simply means your mind works to build up your image, to highlight strengths and downplay flaws, because that buildup feels like safety. Criticism doesn't just disagree with you. It pulls at the threads holding your self-view in place. Once you understand that mechanism, narcissism starts to look less like confidence and more like armor. This way of being has a purpose, even if it's hard to see. It protects a self that feels fragile without constant care. The need for admiration isn't greed, it's regulation, a way to stabilize emotions that might otherwise tip into shame or emptiness. You gain a kind of clarity in knowing your strengths, a control over how others see you, an awareness of status that keeps chaos at bay. Without it, the internal quiet would be too loud, the doubts too close. Society sees the surface and calls it vanity or manipulation. They praise humility and call attention-seeking a flaw, but they miss how much energy goes into maintaining that outer shine. Not for show, but for survival. Your mind learned early that self-worth tied to performance or approval feels safer than leaving it to chance. What others call ego is often just the weight of that learned equation, carried every day. You carry attention few notice. Part of you thrives on the spotlight, the validation, the way admiration quiets the inner doubt. Another part knows how draining it is to always need that light, how silence or criticism can leave you hollow, retreating inward to rebuild. The world expects steady empathy, easy vulnerability, but your wiring pulls focus back to the self for protection. Sometimes you step back, not out of coldness, but exhaustion from holding up the image everyone expects. In those moments, the internal world feels safer than the noise outside. The glow of others' regard becomes the only sound that drowns out uncertainty. Empathy can feel selective, not because you don't care, but because so much attention stays inward, monitoring for threats to your sense of self. It's not absence of feeling, it's limited space. When your emotional energy goes to self-regulation, there's less left to fully hold someone else's experience. This doesn't make you less human. It makes your humanity organized around a different center, one that prioritizes self-stability in a world quick to judge. Reflection can feel risky, because looking too closely might shake the balance you've built. Your way of moving through life is valid, even when it doesn't match the quiet humility others prize. Difference doesn't mean deficiency. The mind that reaches for admiration to feel whole is the same mind capable of vision, drive, and depth. It simply navigates by the light of external regard. In the end, what others call narcissism may just be the shape your survival took.